Hello and welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. We do dating, relationships, and men's self-improvement advice on this channel. If that interests you, if you find anything of value in this video, you want to stick around and watch more of my content, unlike anything else you've seen on the internet, you're definitely going to want to stick around, hit that subscribe button, and scroll down and check out my other content related to this topic. So in today's video, what we're going to talk about is very relevant, especially if you're a man that has been called good looking or attractive, or maybe you're successful. Maybe you have rental properties and you have passive income streams that are coming through. You have your own nice apartment or your own home. You own a business. You dress well. You have a nice car. You have all of these external flashy attributes or hooks or bait to draw in the interest, the initial interest of women. Okay. And what I always say, we've talked about on this channel before, is having all of these nice things, and this is what a lot of guys with these things fail to understand, that only gets you to the hypothetical front door of the woman. Okay, so she's just noticing you, and she's like, it's like when you have a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout or a Jehovah's Witness that comes to your door and they knock and you're like, oh, hi, and you kind of open the door and you crack the door a little bit and you kind of have that conversation where it's just like you and that Girl Scout or that Boy Scout, the Jehovah's Witness between the crack of the door. That's what she's doing when you have these hooks, like you look attractive as a man. She's just opening the door enough for you to make an interaction with him. It's nothing more, nothing less than that. It's just, okay, you look good. Now I want to see what comes out of your mouth. And women, being emotionally more tuned in than we are as men, because they're emotional creatures largely, we are more rational thinking and more left brain. The woman can also sense within that short interaction after she finds that man attractive, whether or not that man's giving off a positive or a negative aura. And an aura is sort of an esoteric term for an energy or vibrational feel. Okay, like you've heard the term like this person has good vibes or this person has bad vibes. A negative, down, sour person at your job or in your home can actually interact and negatively impact and poison that household or that environment that person's in. It's quite literally like putting poison in a fish tank where one negative person can domino effect and make all the rest of the people in that environment become negative because of how strong their negative field or aura is and how that impacts other people, and vice versa. The same thing can actually happen when you're a positive person. When you elicit happy and positive emotions, that also impacts the aura and the energy of whatever environment you're in, and women are very tuned in to that as well as your looks. So what's inside will always be reflected on the outside, and that's what women are looking for when they see your looks. They're like, okay, he checks off that first box of physical attraction, and let's see if now he's congruent with who he appears to be on the outside with who he is on the inside and who he represents. So the reason I bring this up is because I received a comment on my YouTube channel about 10 days ago from a man named Tony. And like most good-looking guys that struggle with women or a guy that has all of these external hooks and these different external things he uses as hooks to grab the attention of women, thinking that, you know, if I get all of this stuff and I look this certain type of way, that women are automatically going to be attracted to me. Now, I'm not sure if he's only using dating apps. I asked him if he was, because it sounded like he was, and he wasn't actually going out in real life and talking to women. But here's what Tony has to say, and there's a lot of value from what I'm going to bring up after I read what he's struggling with, and I hope it can relate and it will answer your question if you're struggling with this as well. So Tony says, I'm good looking, I'm 5'10" and have a Mercedes. I have houses, I have rentals, I have equipment, I have businesses, and sold properties a month ago for $100,000 in cash, but I still cannot get a single message back or a single date. If I'm like this and I'm treated like a monster, what is the rest of the male population treated like? Oh, 100% have to be a 7, 8, 9, 10, or 10 Brad, Chad, or Tyrone, or you get nothing. And that's obviously not true. This guy probably hasn't walked outside of his house in a long time. You see unattractive men all the time. You see 4s, and if you want to go by that weird rating system, you see 2s and 4 to 5. I don't even rate men, but you see the lower attractiveness on the scale of looking men with their range of, they're not dating supermodels, but they're dating within their range. Okay, there is a class system to who you can and cannot date in the dating game. Now, if you have money to a certain extent or status, then you can actually, if you're a 4 or a 5 as a man or a 2, you can actually pull maybe an 8, a 9, or a 10, depending on what you're going for. But usually those women are not always into who you are as a person and more into what you can provide and the status that you bring with that. So based off the comments that Tony just made, obviously the route he's choosing to take in life is coming across to women as a provider more so than a lover. Yes, he said he was good looking, 5'10" or whatever, but the Mercedes, the rental properties, you know, I'm sure he's bringing these things up, he's sharing it on the internet. Those things alone right there, that's going to put you in the category in women's minds when they first meet you, especially if you're someone that struggles with personal identity and you're not solid with who you are as a man, just you being yourself. That's going to put you in the category of a provider. She's going to look at you as someone that can, you know, provide for her family, her future family, her kids, and her lifestyle. Take her on expensive trips, nice fancy dinners, you can spoil her with gifts, and you're not going to be looked at as what's on the other side of the spectrum. If you ever read the book Sperm Wars, the lover category, there's 2 categories of men. Women usually have fun with the lover when they're younger, and then they settle down with the provider for stability later on, and they marry that guy because, you know, he's just a solid, consistent, boring guy, to be honest. You know, and every once in a while, unfortunately, this is why women cheat, they will step out on the stable guy and go relive their experiences back with the younger fun guy. But that's besides the point. What I really want to hammer home in this video is the fact that while you might have all of these attributes, and you that's watching, you might be struggling with this yourself, while you might have all these external things, while that seems nice on the outside, it's like if you've ever been to Starbucks and you look in the display case through the glass with all of the different treats and desserts and the little pastries and the croissants and the egg sandwiches, they all look really nice, right, through the glass. But if you've ever worked at a Starbucks, or if you've ever talked to someone that's worked at a Starbucks, what they'll tell you is those are not edible, okay? Behind the glass, yeah, they look edible from your point of view, from far away, and even when you get up close sometimes. But if you try to bite into that and eat whatever is behind that case, the display case, it's gonna be disgusting because they spray it with like preservatives to keep it that way. It's been out there for all day, it's hard, it's stale. And that's the energy or the aura that you as an attractive guy with all of these hooks, these external hooks that you're throwing out to women, that's the vibe that you're giving off. If you've ever seen those Instagram posts where it's like, this is a poop cake, but it looks really good, where it's like a cake, but it's actually poop underneath, okay? That's the vibe you're giving off. You look really good on the outside, you have all these things going for you, but when someone gets close to you and a woman that's very emotionally dialed in starts to interact with you in a closer one-on-one basis, what is going to realize is, oh my God, this guy smells like poop. Like he's giving off like, ew, yuck, ick, get away from me vibes. Like I'm icked out. Okay, you're not what I thought you were from far away. Like, get out of my mouth, right? Like, get away from me. So while you might look good on the outside, like the croissant in the display case or the egg sandwich behind the Starbucks case, when she goes up to take a bite or get to know you better and begin to talk to you a little bit, or even just watch the little subtle things, as women are very tuned into your subcommunication, all right? She looks at like your fingers, all these different things. So she's looking at how you're holding yourself, how you carry yourself, how other women view you, how you interact with people, how you walk. All these different things play into this, and she's going to pick up on your beta, nasty, yucky energy, and it's gonna turn her off, and she's gonna be icked out. She's gonna know that all of these external things, it's just like the Wizard of Oz. You think it's this grandiose guy that's like running the entire ecosystem, and he's this majestic, amazing, like almost godlike character that's above everything, and he runs the planet. But at the end of the day, it's literally just a little short guy sitting behind a desk. He's like a munchkin. And it's not this grandiose idea of who you thought the Wizard of Oz is going to be. Spoiler alert at the end of the movie. It's this little guy running the whole show. And that's the vibe, that's the aura, the energy you're giving off. So what you need to do as a man is work on building your core strength and your inner value and how you view yourself, which might mean going back and working on confidence building exercises. One of the best things that helped me as someone that struggled with this myself in the past, when I had women run away from me after I would talk to them, I'd get their interest initially, was speaking to everyone, working on my communication skills, talking to everyone, whether you're on the bus, whether you're walking through the mall, whether you're at work, talk to everyone, people in the grocery store standing in line, just talk to people, ask them about their day, create small talk, put yourself in kind of uncomfortable situations that build your confidence as you grow in your communication skills. You can also join something like a Toastmasters. Toastmasters is very good at working on your communication, your projection, and forming sentences and words in a way that influence people and get them to feel what you're saying and you're communicating. So I'd really highly suggest you looking into challenging yourself with building your authority when it comes to speaking and your confidence around that. That's the main thing that a lot of guys in this space of the internet, they struggle with, because a lot of times we're more left brain, we're more logical, we're in our heads more, and we're not as effective at communicating as the jocks or the guys that are very good with women naturally. So focus on building your communication by just talking to more and more people. The next thing you want to do is go to the gym. You want to focus on building that V-taper body. You want to focus on your shoulders, building a bigger back, doing push-ups, pull-ups, especially that builds up your upper back. You want to get that wide look to you. And that also work on your abs as well, because the abs they connect basically they're your base. So it connects in a kind of a metaphysical way, your base or your roots, which is your legs, to your upper half of your body, the trunk. And it's the bridge between the two. So the stronger that is, it's almost like the stronger you at your core, at your base, the way you carry yourself will end up being. You carry yourself a different way when you begin to work on your body, and your body and pushing through that physical pain. That's what really develops your mindset as well to push through difficult things in life. If you're someone that's kind of avoided challenges your whole life, getting into the gym and focusing on building your body and enduring that pain, that's going to push you in confidence tremendously. That's what really helped me as well. So without overwhelming you guys, I'm just going to give you guys those 2 tips that you can immediately implement after watching this video. Another thing you can do is just get a haircut consistently and take care of your teeth, your nails. Your skincare should be on point. You should be taking the proper vitamins, the fish oils, to rejuvenate and replenish your skin and keep your muscles and your joints strong, so you can keep hitting the weights and you're not getting arthritis, you're not breaking down, you're not sore days after working out. You can consistently keep going and stay on your treadmill as a man in life. Those are the 2 things I would focus on. Your communication skills, number 1, talking to more and more people, getting yourself out there, considering maybe joining a program like Toastmasters to improve your speaking skills. And the second thing is hitting the gym, developing your body, focusing on your looks, your fashion, and just being confident and growing a core essence and value of who you are as a man, and loving yourself more. But sometimes it takes you actually forming external habits in order to reaffirm and build that congruent self within that will eventually show in your behavior to other people around you. It's not just women. You want to present yourself in a desirable way to the world in general. Life's gonna go by in a flash. Those of you that are watching, you guys probably feel like you're still in your early 20s if you're in your 30s now, or you're approaching 30s. I know it feels like that for me. You don't want to let life just pass you by, and you don't want to not get this handled. You want to become who you believe yourself to truly be. We're only here for a short period of time. We should really try to live the best life we can. Yes, there's unfortunate situations in the world, but that doesn't mean we have to bend the knee, conform, and throw in the towel like so many people do. I believe in you. Implement this stuff. Watch this video over and over again as many times as you need to get it in your head. That's what I do. Really want to hammer home the points that I made in this video and grow in your core confidence instead of just relying on external things. But sometimes those external things, those assist you in building your core confidence when you're first starting out. Love you. Have a blessed day.